Welcome to the pink side. My sisters dare turn me into her prom queen. My name's Eli Navarro, 17, junior year, and invisible in the high school social scene. I'm not a crossdresser by choice, not at first. It started as a joke, a dare, really. A stupid challenge from my older sister, Sabrina, who'd always said I could pass as a girl better than half the girls in her class. She wasn't wrong. She was also a queen bee. Perfect hair, perfect boyfriend, perfect grades, and prom court royalty. And me? I was her awkward little brother with a sketch pad full of anime characters and a permanent seat at the back of the lunchroom. I was used to being overlooked until one night changed everything. We lived in a modest but modern suburban home in a cozy neighborhood with cookie-cutter houses and gossiping neighbors. My room was cluttered with art supplies, fantasy posters, and action figures. Sabrina's? Sparkly, pristine, and layered in perfumes. We barely talked until she found out I was crushing hard on Alyssa Brooks, a senior girl who was in the running for prom queen. Alyssa was sweet, always kind to everyone, and she had this warm laugh that made my chest flutter. Sabrina teased me for weeks. Then one Friday night, she knocked on my bedroom door with a mischievous grin. "I dare you," she said, arms folded, "to be my competition at prom." I blinked. "What are you talking about?"
You. Me.
"Both of us running for prom queen. But you go as a girl. No half-done thing. Full-on glam. Full-on illusion." I laughed. There's no way I'd pass for a girl. "Oh, honey," she said, flipping her long hair. "You'd pass better than I ever could." She upped the stakes. "If you do this and you fool everyone, I'll set you up on a real date with Alyssa. One-on-one. No lies." I should have said no. But something in me didn't. Maybe it was the thought of finally having Alyssa notice me. Maybe it was Sabrina daring me to be brave. Maybe deep down it was because I wanted to know what it felt like. To wear those clothes. To try that makeup. To disappear behind someone new.
To be seen.
My girlfriend, well, ex-girlfriend, Emma, and I had broken up a few months back. She was the only person who really knew me, the only one I ever shared my sketches with. But after our messy breakup over a dumb miscommunication, we'd barely spoken. She still sat 2 seats behind me in homeroom, and sometimes I caught her looking. Not with hate. More like confusion. Emma always said I was hiding something. She had no idea how right she was. That night, after Sabrina left my room, I stood in front of the mirror. What if I really could pull it off? What if, just for a little while, I wasn't Eli? What if I became Ellie? My stomach twisted with fear, but my heart fluttered with something else.
Excitement. Danger.
Maybe even desire. Sabrina took my silence as a yes. The next morning, she barged into my room at 8 a.m., armed with shopping bags. "Get up, prom queen in training. We've got work to do." She dragged me to her room, laid out clothes on her bed, blouses, skirts, heels, padded bras, fake nails, and told me not to flinch. And I didn't. That morning, I became her project. And surprisingly, she wasn't cruel. She was focused. She measured me, tweezed my eyebrows, matched foundation to my skin, and taught me how to walk in heels like it was a sacred rite. "You're lucky your lips are already pretty," she murmured, applying gloss. "We'll just add lashes, contour, and boom. You're Ellie." When I looked in the mirror that first time fully dressed, I gasped. I didn't see Eli. I saw someone who looked like she belonged on TikTok.
Cute. Girly.
Real. And for a moment, I wanted to be her. The first few times I cross-dressed were thrilling and terrifying. There was always a heartbeat of shame under the thrill. I'd laugh at Sabrina's jokes, only to hide in my room afterward, wiping off the makeup slowly, staring into the mirror. What was happening to me? Was this just about the dare, or was there more? I kept telling myself, this is for Alyssa. This is about the bet. But deep down, part of me loved slipping into Ellie's skin. She was bold, confident,
Pretty.
everything I wasn't as Eli. Was I betraying myself? Or finally becoming myself? The first time I went outside, as Ellie was a weekday night, Sabrina dared me to come with her to the mall. We'll keep it low-key, she said. If you're going to be a prom queen, you need to practice. I hesitated, but dressed. Skinny jeans, soft sweater, bra and padding. My hair in a long chestnut wig. We walked through the food court and no one gave me a second look. Not one. That was the rush. Not just wearing girl clothes, but being seen as one. I giggled more in those 2 hours than I had all year, until I saw someone I recognized.
Emma.
She was 2 tables over. She glanced at us, narrowed her eyes. And for a second, I thought she recognized me. But then she looked away. I exhaled. My legs nearly gave out. Sabrina posted a blurred photo of Ellie on her Insta story later that night. Just our backs in the dressing room mirror, laughing. But the internet never forgets. The next morning, someone reposted it asking, "Who's this new girl with Sabrina Navarro?" The comments were brutal. Her cousin? Sabrina's secret girlfriend? She's kinda hot though eyes. I panicked. I wanted to beg her to delete it, but instead, I watched it. Again and again. Because part of me loved that they didn't know. Ellie was real now. She had a presence. A dangerous one. Then it happened. Alyssa Brooks messaged Ellie. She thought I was Sabrina's friend. "Hey. Saw your pic. So cute smiling face with hearts we haven't met, but I love your vibe." I stared at the screen, heart pounding. Sabrina leaned over. "Say hi. Flirt back. This is your golden ticket." But that's a lie. "Exactly," she said with a grin. "You want to be prom queen, right?" So I replied. And Alyssa replied again. That night, I stayed up messaging her for hours. She told me about her dreams, her insecurities, her ex. She called me funny, beautiful,
Kind.
I wanted to cry, because I wasn't pretending anymore. I was just me. Over the next 2 weeks, Ellie became real. I dressed nearly every day. Sabrina helped me refine my voice, my walk, my gestures. She even registered Ellie for prom court under a fake name, Eliana Rose Navarro. "Navarro runs in the family," she said with a wink. "Let's see if 2 sisters can go head-to-head." I was shocked she was going this far. But part of me loved it. We did photo shoots,
TikToks,
even a practice run in heels around the school gym late at night. Then one night, Sabrina asked me point blank, "Are you doing this for Alyssa? Or for you?" I opened my mouth, but no answer came out. Everything came crashing down the day Alyssa invited Ellie to her pre-prom group. A real invite. A limo. Dress fittings. Dinner plans. I couldn't believe it. Alyssa wanted me there, next to her. As her friend. Maybe more. That night, I stood in the mirror in Sabrina's room, wearing a deep blue prom dress she'd picked out for me. It hugged my frame perfectly. I turned side to side.
Blushed.
"I can't do this," I whispered. "Yes, you can," Sabrina said, placing a hand on my shoulder. I stared at the reflection. A stranger, who somehow felt more like me than Eli ever had. And that terrified me. Because I knew, if I went to prom as Ellie, there would be no going back. I didn't sleep the night before prom. I kept staring at the midnight blue dress hanging on Sabrina's closet door, perfectly steamed and shimmering under the light. Ellie's dress. My dress. Sabrina entered my room that morning like a stylist on a mission. "Today, you're a queen." I was silent. She touched my shoulder. "You can back out. I'll say you got sick." I shook my head. "No, I want this." Because I did. Not just for Alyssa. Not for the dare. Not for the thrill. But because for the first time in my life, I wanted to be seen. The prep was cinematic. Sabrina curled my wig, blending it seamlessly. The makeup was elegant. Smoky eyes, soft lips, highlighter on the cheekbones. The dress hugged me in all the right places, paired with heels that made my legs look long and confident. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't gasp like the first time. I smiled. I knew her now. This was Ellie, prom queen contender, beautiful, nervous, and real. "Don't forget this," Sabrina said, pinning a delicate crystal tiara just above my forehead. "Too soon?" I teased.
She grinned.
"Manifesting." I stepped into the limo with Alyssa and her friends, who all cheered when they saw me. Ellie, you look gorgeous, Alyssa squealed. She reached for my hand and squeezed it, her eyes lingering on mine. Thanks for coming, she whispered. I'm so glad you're here. Every second with her felt like a dream. But behind the dream, the truth screamed at me.
She doesn't know.
None of them do. And yet, I didn't want to let go of her hand. The school gym had never looked so glamorous. String lights, golden streamers, a photo wall of fairy lights and roses. We stepped inside, and all eyes were on us. I thought people would stare,
Judge.
whisper, but they didn't. They smiled,
Complimented me.
danced with me. I had become Ellie, undeniably, beautifully, confidently. Even the DJ called out, "Lookin' fire, Ellie Navarro." Then Emma walked in, and everything stopped. She wore a sleek black gown, her hair in curls, eyes scanning the room until they locked onto me. I saw it happen. Recognition.
Shock.
Realization. She stormed across the floor. "You've got to be kidding me," she hissed. I pulled her aside, heart racing. "Emma, please, let me explain. You're Eli. What the hell is this?" "It started as a dare," I whispered. "But it became real."
I didn't mean to lie.
She looked at me, wounded. "You didn't trust me. You let me believe you disappeared while you were what? Living this lie." I didn't know it was the truth until it was too late. Emma stared, the hurt in her eyes cutting deeper than any words. Then she walked away. I nearly followed, but a hand caught mine. "Alyssa, everything okay?" I swallowed. "Yeah, just nerves." The prom court announcement came. The crowd hushed. The spotlight beamed. "And your 2025 prom queen is Ellie Navarro." I froze. The world blurred.
People clapped. Cheered.
Sabrina screamed like she'd won herself. I stepped forward, trembling. The crown was placed on my head, and for a split second, I forgot everything else. I was radiant, powerful,
Seen.
until a voice from the back cut through the applause. "That's not even a real girl." The gym fell silent. I turned slowly to see Jason, a guy from the football team, pointing at me. "That's Eli Navarro." I knew something was off. Gasps echoed. Whispers erupted. Sabrina stepped forward. "Say that again, and I'll break your teeth." But it was too late. The illusion shattered. I ran. Through the side doors. Into the hallway, tears threatening to ruin my perfect makeup. Footsteps followed. "Alyssa." She caught me near the lockers. "Is it true?" she asked quietly. I nodded. "My name's Eli." I didn't mean to hurt anyone. It started as a dare, but then I met you. And I didn't want to stop being her. Alyssa stared at me, eyes unreadable. "Finally," she whispered. "You're a better girl than half the ones in there." Then she hugged me.
Tight. Warm.
"I don't care what you are. You're kind.
Brave.
And honestly, you looked better in that crown than anyone else ever could." Back at home, I sat in silence, the crown beside me, hair a mess, heels kicked off. Sabrina brought me tea. "You okay?" I didn't answer.
She sat beside me.
"You were beautiful tonight." "They know now," I murmured. "It's over." She shook her head.
No.
"Now it's real. And you decided who you are tonight." The next morning, I didn't get out of bed. The prom crown sat on my desk, glittering mockingly. The dress was folded neatly on the chair, and my phone buzzed nonstop with messages, some kind, many cruel. Jason had posted a photo of me from prom night. The caption, "Prom queen or prom lie?" The comments ranged from "she slayed TBH" to "bros just mentally ill." The internet had found out. And I had no control over what happened next. I hadn't opened my DMs all morning, but when I saw Alyssa had messaged me again, I froze. "Hey, just wanted to say I'm still thinking about last night. You're braver than most guys and more honest than most girls. I hope you don't disappear. You don't have to be alone in this." Tears welled up in my eyes. Even after everything, she hadn't turned her back on me. But could I really step into the world now, as Ellie? Or would I always be Eli in hiding? That evening, Sabrina convinced me to take a walk with her. I dare you to go out again, she said softly. Not for prom. Not for me. For you. So I did. I pulled on a hoodie over a skater dress, tied my hair back in a loose ponytail, and wore sneakers instead of heels.
Just a simple, soft look.
Passing neighbors didn't even blink. We reached the nearby cafe, and I saw something that made my heart stop.
Emma.
Sitting alone, scrolling through her phone. She hadn't messaged me since prom, but she looked up and our eyes locked. I turned to run, but she stood and called my name.
Not Eli.
Ellie. I froze. She walked over, her expression unreadable. Why didn't you tell me? She asked. I didn't know how. I thought you ghosted me. Left me. I didn't, I whispered. I found someone else. I found her. And it terrified me. A long pause. Then, so what now? You can't pretend this didn't happen. I'm not pretending anymore, I said. Not after prom. Not after Alyssa. Not after how I felt walking in heels with my heart in my throat, being seen. She looked at me for a long time. Then, her lips twitched. Your walk was better than mine. We both laughed, awkward, strained, but real. Then she stepped closer. Don't hide again. If you disappear, I'll come find you. Okay. I nodded. Okay. That night, I lay in bed scrolling through the flood of posts. The hate, the memes, and the unexpected support. One post made my heart race. A new TikTok, posted just hours ago. Alyssa. She was in her prom dress, staring into the camera, soft music playing behind her. Some people lie to hurt others. But sometimes, people lie because they don't know how to say, this is who I am. And I think that deserves understanding, not hate. Then she smiled, and the video cut to a still frame. A selfie of us together at prom. Caption: My prom queen. The comments were blowing up. Thousands of views. Mixed reactions. But one stood out. Wait, is this the start of something? I stared at the screen, heart thudding. What happens now? Would I go back to Eli? Or embrace Ellie permanently? Would Alyssa still want to see me? Would my classmates ever see me as more than a joke? Or would they remember me as the boy who wore a crown and owned it?
I didn't know yet.
But I knew this. The dare was over.
The choice was now mine.
And for the first time, I wasn't scared of the answer. So here I am, the girl who is never supposed to be real. But now I have a crown, a name, and maybe even a future. But the real question is, should I stay Ellie forever? Or will everything fall apart?